You ever look at someone's success story and think, okay, but how did that really happen? Not the headline version, not the polished documentary version, the real one, with doubts, risks, luck, mistakes, and a little bit of obsession. Today, we're talking about how Jeff Bezos became one of the richest people in history. And honestly, this story is way more human than most people think. A kid who was obsessed with building things. Jeff wasn't born rich. He wasn't born into tech royalty. He was born in 1964 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His mom was 17 years old. Life wasn't easy. And here's something people don't talk about enough. When you grow up with uncertainty, you either learn to play safe or you become obsessed with control. Jeff became obsessed with understanding how things worked. As a kid, he built an electric alarm to keep his siblings out of his room. He turned his parents' garage into a lab. That curiosity, that stubborn curiosity, that's the first ingredient in his wealth. Rich people's stories often sound magical, but most of them start with obsession. Not talent, not luck, obsession. Princeton, Wall Street, and a comfortable life he walked away from. Jeff studied electrical engineering and computer science at Princeton University. He graduated near the top of his class, got a job on Wall Street, worked at hedge funds, made serious money. He could have stayed there forever. And honestly, most people would. Safe salary, big bonuses, prestige. But in 1994, he saw a statistic that changed his life. Internet usage was growing 2,300% per year. He didn't just see numbers, he saw the future. So he did something that sounds insane. He quit his job. He got in a car with his wife, drove to Seattle, started a company in his garage. That company became Amazon. This is the part where I always stop and think, how many of us see opportunities but stay comfortable? Jeff didn't know Amazon would succeed. He just knew he'd regret not trying. And sometimes, regret is scarier than failure. Amazon almost failed more than once. Today, Amazon looks unstoppable. But in the 1990s, it was fragile. It started as an online bookstore, books, because they were easy to ship and had huge catalogs. Jeff worked crazy hours. Employees packed boxes on their knees. They couldn't afford desks, so they used doors on sawhorses. That's still an Amazon tradition, but here's the real part nobody glamorizes. Amazon didn't make profit for years. Investors doubted him. Analysts mocked him. During the dot-com crash, people said Amazon would die. Jeff kept investing instead of taking profit. That's the second ingredient in his wealth, long-term thinking. Most people want results in months. Jeff played a 20-year game, and honestly, that level of patience is rare. The moment Amazon changed everything. Around 2005, Jeff launched something that sounded boring. Amazon Prime, fast shipping for a yearly fee. People laughed. Shipping is expensive, they said. But Jeff understood psychology. If customers paid once, they'd buy more to justify it. Prime turned Amazon into a habit. Then came AWS, cloud computing. Most people didn't even notice. But AWS became one of the most profitable tech services in the world. Amazon wasn't just a store anymore, it was infrastructure. This is where Bezos showed genius. He didn't just sell products. He built systems that made money quietly, constantly. That's billionaire thinking. Bezos' personality, the good and the bad. Let's be honest, Jeff isn't a perfect hero. Former employees describe him as demanding, obsessed with efficiency, cold sometimes. He pushed people hard, and here's my honest opinion. You don't build something that big by being comfortable. But there's always a cost. Every giant company has critics. Amazon is no exception. And understanding that makes the story more real. Wealth on this level usually comes with sacrifice from someone. Other moves that made him richer. Jeff didn't just stick with Amazon. He invested in Blue Origin, his space company. He bought the Washington Post. He invested in startups early. When you already have money, smart investments multiply it. That's another truth people don't like hearing. The first million is hard. After that, money grows faster. Because opportunities start coming to you. Luck, timing, and being early. Here's something I believe strongly. Jeff Bezos is brilliant, but he was also early. He started Amazon when the internet was young, competition was smaller, rules were still forming. If he started today, would it be the same? Maybe. Maybe not. Success is always talent plus timing, and recognizing that makes success stories more honest. The biggest lesson I learned from Bezos' story. If I had to summarize why Jeff Bezos became so rich, it would be this. He made huge bets and waited. Most people either don't bet or don't wait. He did both. He ignored short-term criticism, focused on customers, reinvested everything, and maybe most importantly, he thought like a builder, not just a businessman. When I think about Jeff Bezos, I don't just see one of the richest men in the world. I see someone who turned long-term thinking into a lifestyle. And that, to me, is one of the most powerful lessons about winning in life. A lot of people focus on the money, the yachts, the space flights with Blue Origin, or the scale of Amazon. But what really stands out isn't the wealth, it's the mindset that built it. One of the biggest lessons Bezos teaches is the power of long-term vision. When he started Amazon in 1994, selling books online sounded almost ridiculous. The internet was barely understood. E-commerce was unproven. Most people couldn't imagine buying products online without seeing them in person. But Bezos wasn't building for the present, he was building for the future. He famously prioritized long-term growth over short-term profit, even when investors doubted him. That kind of patience is rare. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, Bezos played the long game. Another huge lesson is comfort with risk. He left a high-paying job at a hedge fund to start Amazon out of a garage. That wasn't a safe move. It wasn't guaranteed. But he talked about something called the regret minimization framework, imagining himself at 80 years old and asking whether he would regret not trying. That perspective is powerful. Winning in life often means being willing to look foolish in the short term for something you believe in long term. Now, of course, Bezos is not perfect. No billionaire is. There are valid criticisms about corporate practices, labor conditions, and market dominance. But separating the controversies from the core lessons, there's still a blueprint there. Think long-term, embrace calculated risk, obsess over value creation, tolerate failure, and maintain extremely high standards. To me, the biggest takeaway is this. Winning in life isn't about chasing status. It's about building something meaningful over time, staying disciplined when others are impatient, and having the courage to act on a vision before the world understands it. What people don't tell you about billionaires. Here's something personal. When we watch billionaire stories, we think money will fix everything. But look at Jeff's life. Divorce, public criticism, pressure, no privacy. Wealth solves financial problems, it creates new ones, and that's worth remembering. Jeff Bezos didn't get rich overnight. He got rich through obsession with ideas, risk-taking, long-term thinking, timing, relentless execution, and honestly, a personality strong enough to ignore doubt. You don't have to be Jeff Bezos to learn from him. Maybe the real lesson is simpler. Find something you believe in. Work on it longer than everyone else. And don't quit just because people laugh. Because sometimes, the crazy idea in a garage becomes the biggest company in the world. And maybe, your idea is waiting for you to start. If you enjoyed this story, comment below. What's one risk you're afraid to take right now? And if you want more deep dives into billionaire stories and financial lessons, subscribe. Because next time, we're breaking down another success story step by step. I hope the video you just watched really changed your mindset and you caught the message I was trying to get across. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new content. On the end screen, I'm dropping a super interesting video that can actually inspire you to start changing your financial situation today. It's about how the founder of NASA made it big and became a mega millionaire. Thanks for watching the video all the way through. That shows I actually kept you hooked on something interesting, and YouTube sees that the video's good and starts pushing it to more people. See you in the next video.